Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shah, Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Barak Badash. All praises, honor, glory, love, respect, faith, and power, and trust, and all credit to my Heavenly Father, Yahweh, and my Heavenly Big Brother, Yahweh Shah. Thank you so much for what you've done, what you're doing, and what you're going to do. Double honors to the apostles and elders and bishops of JMS, Great Millstone, who I learned from, and all the men scattered all over the world, teaching this truth and none but the truth in the name, spirit, and the power, Yahweh Bashim Al Shah. Trying to put a spiritual bug in you Hebrew Israelites' ears, you so-called black Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, and you speckled birds. And what is a speckled bird? That'd be a Hebrew Israelite that look like some of the heathen nations, like for example, a Hebrew Israelite that look like a so-called white person, so-called Chinese person, etc., etc. I got some videos lined up. I'm gonna play these videos. I'm gonna get into the scripture my best ability, say whatever God say through spirit and power, Yahweh Bashim Al Shah, the Holy Spirit, the Kurach Kadash, Lord wanna be on me. Let's get it.
All right, you want to see something kind of cool? Take a look at this. Bring it up on this monitor. This round circle here represents a cell built from scratch. It's a one of a kind. And get this, it can feed, grow, and replicate like a natural cell. What do you think about that? The scientists who built it call it...
It sound like bullshit. And they probably have something like that, but he's saying they built it by scratch. There ain't nothing built by scratch by man. Everything has an origin. It came from Yahweh and his son, Yahweh Shah.
A spud cell. And so we're joined now by a lead scientist now, Kate Amidala. She's the University of Minnesota professor, co-founder of biotech. She says this is just the beginning. I guess, Kate, my question is just the beginning for what? For viewers who've never heard of this, how would you describe this spud cell to them?
Hi, thanks for having me. The spud cell is on the kind of a macro level, just like a natural cell. It has a membrane, and then inside it has genes and it has metabolism. The biggest difference between that and any other cell that we know of is that this one can be engineered. It's fully engineerable because we know exactly what goes in it. It has all the components known and defined. And that's not something you can say about any natural cell. So if you want to make things with biology, make different chemicals, different materials, compounds, it's much easier to convince the artificial cell to do that because we know exactly how to talk to it. We know how to engineer it.
Wow, it's pretty fascinating. So you contrast that with a human cell that sometimes goes rogue, gets up a mind of its own, maybe even turns cancerous. You're saying that this cell follows the commands of the creator, but I can imagine there
They follow the commands of the creator. But this is the news narrative, what they trying to push.
could be a dark side to that as well. What are the upsides and the downsides?
The upside is that we have a full control over it. I don't like the word creator because I didn't create something new from scratch. What we did is we put together molecules and they behave like molecules are paid to behave. They're doing all the natural things. So we didn't create something new, completely new to nature.
Well, at least she honest about that. Some people, especially Esau, that nigga that would be like. I know she's a Sheetamite, but at least she honest about saying that we didn't create this. But Esau be like, yeah, I did create this. Yeah, take that, Most High. Yeah.
We're imitating nature, we're learning from it, and we're building on it. And the possible downside, like with every cutting edge technology, there could be, we call it dual use technology. There could be potential for misuse, and we're guarding against it by putting switches inside that cell, so it cannot escape the lab. It cannot live on its own. It cannot survive on its own in the environment.
Wow, it sounds like the stuff of Hollywood movies. So worst case scenario, say the switch fails, then what?
Then the thing dies in the environment because it's engineered from scratch. It's very wimpy.
But what if it doesn't die? Be like the Hollywood movies that are going bad, or where you think it's dead and then it comes back mutated and it takes over and shit.
It doesn't have the ability to defend itself, to protect itself like natural cells. So if you release that thing into the environment, the first bacteria that's going to come across it is just going to eat it.
Got it. Pretty fascinating. What do you see the future, the next 5-10 years of this?
Nuclear destruction. That's what I see it. That's what it should be. Shit. Yeah.
In the next 5 years, we're going to make it more robust, better. Right now, it's very sheltered. It can only replicate, it can only grow in the lab under very controlled conditions. We want to make it stronger and more robust so we can build bioeconomy on it. We can build it to make products, different chemicals, different drugs, even materials, and make it in a way that's better than natural biology, so expand on natural biology. And that's going to help us move away from this petrochemical-based economy where everything we get comes from oil, and because of oil, I just saw you had a segment on heat.
Why don't we just pull away from that that shit right there, and just do it that way instead of having what the fuck? Man, that's why he got to get the fuck out of here. Man, these devils are fucking niggers, man. Yeah, they want to create something. How many times they created something and it always went bad? Like, for example, the vaccine shots. I got a video on that. But the vaccine shots, they claim it was going to help, but it turned out to be bad. Or, the next video coming up, sunscreen. For people like her, yeah, sunscreen is mostly used for people like her, but it turned out to be bad. It gives out skin cancer and shit.
Heat waves. Mm-hmm. That's, that's part of the.
Alright, anyway. Shit, let me get this scripture here. They never take a break, man. These people from Esau and these other heathens, they never take a break trying to do the same, trying to duplicate and copy what Yahweh Shema Shah created. 2 Thessalonians chapter 11 verse 14. And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed itself into an angel of light. So they appearing to make themselves look like a divine creating. I don't know what the fuck. God can tell you these niggas need to be stopped before they fuck everything else up. Next video.
Have I been lied to as a Florida man about sunscreen protecting me from cancer?
Yes, it appears we've all been lied to, unfortunately. This massive
by your own people.
Study of over 470,000 people confirms it.
We have special guest with us, Nicholas Holscher, epidemiologist, administrator at the McCullough Foundation. He's here to talk about the latest study on sunscreen. Hi, Nicholas. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Now, we've covered this story before. Using our source was a Midwestern doctor, Substack, and he did a deep dive and found out that the people who were exposed the most to sun got the least amount of the deadly kind of sun cancer or skin cancer, which is melanoma. That's the deadliest form. And it turns out that the parts of their skin that didn't get sun was where that kind of cancer showed up. And they've known this for a long time. They've done studies where they've looked at office workers and people who worked outside, and it seems like the more sun you get, the more of a resistance you get to.
Well, no, no. For people like you and people like anybody who's lack of melanin, and I ain't saying that you're wicked because you have no melanin, because you're gonna have Israelites. Well, let's just say not wicked. What's the word? Let's just say Israelites ain't necessarily gonna be all brown skin, okay? You gonna have Israelites that gonna look like these two dudes. Somebody who might not have melanin in them. But somebody who has no melanin, they have a higher chance, with or without sunscreen, you have a higher chance of having, getting skin cancer. So it's like, damn if you do, damn if you don't.
The deadly kind of skin cancer. So I just want to play this. This was you talking to our good friend.
They don't tell you. Yeah, you get skin cancer from that sunscreen, this synthetic melanin. Because that's all it is, synthetic melanin, sunscreen. And you can tell it's matter of fact, let me see if I can pull that video up. This shit loads up faster. Let me see. I'll just voice it. What does sunscreen look like under a UV lens? Man, goddamn, this shit's so slow. What does sunscreen look like under a UV lens? Oh my goodness, I hate this shit. Let me just type it in. What does sunscreen look like under a UV light or ultraviolet? Alright, fuck it, I'll just do that. Type that in. Damn, I can't stand this shit when they keep loading so slow. It's like they doing this shit on purpose, bro. Here we go. Here's a good video. It's short. Shows you what it looks like. For you Edomites, look closely. Wow.
This is amazing.
Wow, look at it. Look like tar babies. Look like a bunch of fucking tar babies.
Just amazing. Look at this.
Oh my goodness, I'm black! Oh my goodness, I'm black!
Wow.
Oh my God, God, you should see.
This is just.
No, that's
this is,
unbelievable.
This is.
It's unbelievable, but look, yeah, your skin's a fucking curse. But I'm not going, for the Edomites that look like they have that skin deficiency. I'm not poking fun at anybody who's a Israelite that's how you say. Yeah, I'm not poking fun of any Israelites that lack of this melanin. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
I saw the. Wow.
That's insane.
Look at her.
Yeah.
You can put all that shit on, you still gonna get cancer. Yeah, she find it funny, she did. Yeah, damn niggers.
Alles gut, man kann sich vor allen Dingen in dieser Kamera auch sehen, ob man das gleich.
Damn, bitch, you got enough of it on your face already. You see what I mean? This is synthetic melanin does. Makes you look black. Nah, I did joke. Well, shit. Ooh, what the hell happened to her? Well, anyway, that's what happens to your ass when you use this shit. And that's, yeah.
And Matthew Gates.
Have I been lied to as a Florida man about sunscreen protecting me from cancer?
Yes, it appears we've all been lied to, unfortunately. This massive study of over 470,000 people confirms it. It's very worrisome that when they compared sunscreen users to non-sunscreen users, the sunscreen users faced increased risks of all the major skin cancers, melanoma, squamous cell carcinoma, and basal cell carcinoma. So all of these cancers were up, but the most worrisome finding was that invasive melanoma was 300% higher risk in the sunscreen users. They accounted for skin color, time spent outdoors, and many other things, sex, age, and they still found these increased risks of the cancers. So when you use sunscreen all the time, you're blocking your body's ability to synthesize vitamin D, which is critical for cancer defense. So you do not want to shut that off. A JAMA study just came out and found all of those active ingredients in the sunscreens get into your circulation. They get into your body above FDA regulatory limits. So what I would say is avoid sunscreens if you really have to use it. If you'll be out in the sun for 6 hours midsummer day, you still want to use something. I would use zinc-based sunscreen, not oxybenzone, none of those hormone-disrupting chemicals.
Have I been...
So tell me about the latest study. Tell me about, because there's been studies out there that we covered. Tell me about the most recent one.
Well, that would be the most recent one, but I think what's important to talk about is the one before that, and then so what led up to this latest one. So before that, the backstory is in 2018, a meta-analysis was published. A meta-analysis is literally a combination of every single study ever done on a topic. So they did a meta-analysis on the risk of skin cancer with sunscreen use compared to no sunscreen use. There was 30 studies. So all 30 of these studies since the 1980s was in this meta-analysis. When they combined all this 30 studies combined over the 40 years, the odds ratio of getting skin cancer when using sunscreen was over 1. So what that means is all the evidence of the past 50 years shows that, there is technically a higher risk of getting skin cancer when using sunscreen. Now, it was only 8%, and technically it wasn't statistically significant. So now we get to the important part. Over those 40 years, there was 370,000 people. Then we got to this next study in 2023 that had 407.
I'm gonna start right there, but these devils know this shit, know what it would do to skin, and they still selling it as today. And guess what? It's mostly fucking up his own people. And people who lack of melanin, if they have to use sunscreen. But I would say it's fucking up his own people. Yeah, that's crazy. And these motherfuckers be saying, you have the mark of Cain, you're dark. Well, if you're saying with somebody who has melanin that's brown skin, not black, but brown skin is cursed, hell, they got better benefits of dealing with the sun than you do, dumbass. Shit. These people fucking stupid as fuck. And I bet you they getting fucked up right now with this damn high-ass heat. Oh, yeah. If the heat ain't gonna fuck you up, that sun will. I mean, Yeah. Let me see. Ecclesiastes chapter 14 verse 5. He that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good? Yeah, that's pretty fucking evil. That you going to put some chemicals in the sunscreen, and then these people just putting it all over their body, try to protect it. They think they're getting protection, but they really ain't. They really increasing their chances of what is it called, melanoma, some skin cancer. Yeah. Oh well, shit. I know my mom, she be like, you put some what you call it, sunscreen? I'm like, hell no, I ain't putting that shit on. Why the hell would I want to put that fucking shit on? That's just fucking stupid. I mean, there's different type of sunscreen, but I don't know what, I don't even bother. But it's just stupid to put that shit on when your ass don't, I mean, it shit will fuck your skin up regardless. Yeah. And just like getting a vaccine shot. Hell, let's get to that one too. Let me go and move. I'm going to play that video next. I was going to play something else, but I was like, nah, let me go ahead and play this video next.
Harbor Freight.
Yeah, getting the vaccine shots, you thinking that shit it's going to do you some good. And now the studies are out there saying that these bitches ain't doing no good for you. They fucking you up. But people still taking it. Dumb, ignorant motherfuckers.
Tools are working hard.
Still taking the vaccine shots. Unbelievable.
They took a Stalinist line, which was, it works, and if you don't think it works, you're evil. You deserve to die.
Yeah.
And if you don't take it, we're going to fire you and destroy your life. I've never seen anything like that in my life. There has been nothing like that in all human history at that
The same thing gonna be with them chip implants. Will be way worse though.
scale.
Tucker Carlson had
You see, he talks a lot about this shit, about these, I won't say chips, but these vaccines, because he got jacked up by them vaccine shots.
something to say about the COVID-19 vaccine. Have you heard it? It's pretty good. I gotta get him on this show. He's going on everybody else's freaking show. It's my own fault. All I have to do is text him. I'm sure he'll come
You did
on.
a show recently, though, didn't you?
Say it again?
You did.
Yeah, I did
You
his
made an
show.
appearance on his show. I know it was good because Ben Shapiro was very upset.
He was very upset about it. He said my name about 10 times, which makes me happy.
Yeah, he was so upset he forgot to do the old Bill Maher. He goes,
Yeah.
some guy.
Comedian Jimmy Dore, and that's it. And there's Tucker Carlson laughing right along with him. That's not, you don't have to defend a widow. A widow.
That's great. What am I in the Freemasons? Can a widow's son not get a what? He gave him not 1 point. He had not 1 point where he lied. He just said Tucker's letting him talk.
That's it. Tucker's letting him talk. He didn't say I lied. Okay, let's do this.
In a recent appearance on Jack Neal's podcast, Tucker Carlson argues that the COVID vaccine rollout was probably the greatest crime ever committed.
It's hard not to conclude something's going on. Because some of the behavior...
I say the greatest crime they ever committed is stealing the identity of the Hebrew Israelites and torturing them and raping them and separating families. Pretty much enslaving the Lord's people. That's the greatest crime ever. And then this shit right here, I mean, yeah. And there are many other crimes like dropping nuclear bombs on people and shit. Yeah. That's a lot of crimes that Esau committed. Shit. Amalek. Esau, Amalek committed. I have to say both of their names.
It makes sense if you view it through the conventional formula of like what government does or big companies do for the population. They serve the population. Government does it for votes. Companies do it for money. So when you see behavior that doesn't fit that template, you're like, what is this? The COVID vax was the one that I've never gotten in my mind. I've never understood what that was about. There'd never been a coronavirus vax that had been successful. They tried. It didn't work. The last time they tried it, I knew that. And this one didn't work, and it was obvious immediately that it didn't work. And rather than kind of pull back a little bit or be defensive, well, actually, it does work. They took a Stalinist line, which was, it works, and if you don't think it works, you're evil. You deserve to die. And if you don't take it, we're going to fire you and destroy your life. I've never seen anything like that in my life. There has been nothing like that in all human history at that scale.
Well, in the military.
And it didn't work. And in fact, it killed a ton of people, including someone I know. Gave another close friend of mine a heart attack, but it killed a lot of people around the world. It caused cancer. It lowered female fertility. It was a disaster. It was probably the greatest crime ever committed, honestly. And even now, there's like no conversation about it at all.
None.
It's still required. The Trump administration still has it on the schedule. They're sending money to Pfizer for more COVID vax, mRNA vax. It's like, that's so bonkers that it's hard to conclude. It's not like they don't know. The numbers, I mean, excess mortality numbers.
I mean, Trump, the main president who promoted that vaccine shots. He said he got his shots, and he said it was like liquid candy going through his veins. That nigga said that shit made his toes curl like he was having sex and shit. He didn't say that word. He didn't say that part, but he said he got that shit and it felt like liquid candy going through his veins. Let me see if he did say that. I'm gonna let the video play while I look this shit up on the other screen.
Alone tell you this, but it's like obvious that net, it's poison and it killed people. And yes, it does change your DNA, actually. Like, actually, that's not a conspiracy theory. So, given all of that, I think the people who did that specifically, which would be U.S. government officials and business leaders internationally and foreign governments, capable of literally anything. And that, by the way, that's such a huge scale. Like a mass immunization project is like it's bigger than a war mobilization. It's like the biggest thing a government ever does.
Oh, here go one right here where he's promoting, saying the vaccine shots are fine.
I think we have to be very careful. Look, you have some vaccines that are so amazing. The polio vaccine, I happen to think, is amazing. A lot of people think that COVID is amazing. You know, there are many people that believe strongly in that. But you have some vaccines that are so incredible. And I think you have to be very careful when you say that some people don't have to be vaccinated. It's a very tough position. So I'd give you an answer. I'll give you a feeling. But just initially, I heard about it yesterday, and it's a tough stance. Look, you have vaccines that work. They just pure and simple work. They're not controversial at all. And I think those vaccines should be used. Otherwise, some people are going to catch it, and they endanger other people. And when you don't have controversy at all.
All right, whatever, nigga. Let's see this one. Damn, can I go to it? Yeah, that last video, the first video I was playing, not the last, but the first video I was playing, that was 2 months, no, that was 10 months ago. Pretty much, I guess last year. Yeah, last year, this 7 years ago.
They have to get the shot. The vaccinations are so important. This is really going around now. They have to get their shots.
Mr. President, how old is too old to be president?
Well, I think that I just feel like a young man. I'm so young. I can't believe it. I'm the youngest person. I am a young, vibrant man. I look at Joe. I don't know about him. I don't know. I would never say anyone's too old, but I know they're all making me look very young, both in terms of age and I think in terms of energy. I think you people know that.
Because he got the vaccine shots right. That nigga know damn well that motherfucker can kill your ass. He's like, no. Who the first person that got put to death by taking that shit? The first celebrity? Hank Aaron. Now his ass in the spirit world. The moment he took that vaccine shot, poof, he up in the spirit world, but in his right mind. I remember that shit. What it says. Alright, enough of this shit. Going back to memory lane. Yeah. What it said. Trump says enough vaccine shots will have been made by Abraham, whatever. Yeah, pretty much you get the idea. This nigga Hill was pushing that shit.
And they did it on false pretenses, knowing that it harmed people. And they did it anyway, and they still haven't admitted it, and are still doing it. So just on the basis of that experience and the evidence that we all saw, I think it's possible to believe absolutely anything about these people. Would you do that? If you were behind the COVID rollout, the COVID vax rollout, and you found it was killing people, would you be like, no, kids have to have it anyway, even though the death rate from COVID for people under 30 without comorbidities was zero. But the death rate from the COVID vax was much higher than zero. You would never do that. I mean, ever. It doesn't matter how much they paid you, you would never do that. What kind of person would do that? Well, fill in the blank yourself.
Everyone keeps asking me how I do my podcast a lot.
Alright, anyway. That's what happens if you trust the devil. Never trust our enemy, for his iron wrestle, so is his wickedness. And for you Israelites that took that vaccine, you still surviving? You still alive? Pray like heaven, Lord have mercy on you. I mean, some of you probably could be jacked up by that vaccine. Some of you probably ain't feel the effects. Pray like heaven and repent. Try to do the best you can do and hope the Lord have mercy on you. Because this shit here, that's the vaccine shot is least of your worries. That chip implant is the number one worry you got to, hey, that shit, they implement that shit, you really gonna have to lean to the Lord and trust in the Lord. Let's get to this next one. Oh my goodness, I love it.
Directed energy weapon.
But you know what? Let me pause this right quick. Yeah, with Trump, he pushing that shit. I mean, yeah, but it ain't like it's Trump the only one. But I'm gonna read this anyway. Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 3. An unwise king destroyeth his people. And a lot of them niggas, like Trump is one of them. He's considered to be a king, or a king of Babylon. And he been pushing them damn chip implants. He ain't making them damn things, but he's pushing them. He was pushing them, and he still will continue to be pushing them. Because they ain't saying nothing about them things are bad. And yeah. But pretty much Esau on the level of what Trump is at, or either a higher level of rulership, or kingship, or, you know, whatever. Ruling over people, they don't give a fuck. That's why, hey man, they destroy their people. They unwise and they destroy their own people, from the Edomites and you Israelites, of course. Let's get to the next one.
And their effect on the brain.
Oh man, hold on. My speaker went out. I gotta charge my speaker up. I can't hear what's going on.
Line in.
Serious neurological symptoms known as Havana syndrome were primarily documented among American diplomats and intelligence personnel stationed overseas. But now, is the threat a domestic one too? And could symptoms be linked to directed energy attacks? Remember, directed energy weapons are invisible weapons that fire concentrated energy at the speed of light. We're joined now by Professor Emeritus of Neurology at Georgetown, Dr. James Giordano. He also served as a forensic neuroscientist on the original Havana cases. Great to see you, Doctor. Thank you so much for being here. So we've been covering this. It's scary when you hear about it happening to CIA officers overseas, people in the military, but have you seen any evidence of directed energy use?
I'm telling you, they using that shit right now with this heat wave. Yeah, they'll be hitting, like, starting fires. They'll be starting fires, one thing. They might want to start melting something down, like a plastic trash can. What else? A traffic light that's made out of plastic. I guess it's made out of plastic. Can't be made out of metal if it was melting, like I've seen that image. Just damn near anything they can melt using this shit
here on American soil.
There are several instances of individuals being hit with what appears to be both sonic energy and forms of rapidly pulsed microwave energy domestically. Some cases in Florida, some cases in the Delaware, Maryland, DC area, and some cases on the West Coast as well.
So I want to get your response to this, because we spoke to investigative journalist Catherine Herridge recently, and she had this to say about these types of weapons. Listen.
Well, based on my reporting, there seem to be multiple types of weapons. I think what I'll call the old school style weapon are weapons that are built into the infrastructure. Many of the people that I've spoken to.
You know, they're using this shit. They were using this shit when people started protesting, and protests did a little too heavy. Trying to pull them weapons out and go zap your ass with them.
Say they were attacked in hotel rooms. They were essentially had their brains kind of fried overnight. I mean, that's the simple explanation.
So what kind of capabilities?
Matter of fact, a lot of us got direct energy weapons in our home. They're not like, well, they can directly harm you. One energy weapon be your cell phone. Or what about your Wi-Fi? Yeah, the Wi-Fi will fire. You alright? Giving that dog some damn Cheez-It crackers. Hope you ain't choking on something now. But yeah, man, what are them 5G, 6G? That's some, hey, that's used as a weapon. What do they call them, millimeter weapons or some shit? Known to fry your insides and such. Yeah.
These weapons have, in addition to what she's exposed, and, you know, do they have a potential to be deadly?
Yes, ma'am. So in my conversations with Catherine Herridge, and I really thank her very much for the depth and stringency of her reporting, she's absolutely right. There are essentially two generations of these weapons. The first seem to be sonic weapons working in the ultrasonic range, and they tend to produce an overexcitation in hollow cavities and fluid-filled cavities, like the inner ear, but they can also communicate through the bloodstream to the brain to create something like a mini stroke-like effect.
See the one that says denied? Yeah, that's like your 5G, 6G, but it's a little low level. Bump it up to 10 or 20. And shit, that motherfucker be frying your insides. Man, fuck your brain up.
Those original injuries in Havana, as you may recall, were originally referred to as the Immaculate Concussion. But then subsequent generations of these types of weapons, these types of devices, also produce very rapidly pulsed microwaves that don't have a thermal signature, and they utilize a laser to pulse the microwaves very, very quickly so that the waveform is preserved, but without the necessary thermal signature, no heat, and without the need for large power sources that make these very, very scalable. Now these operate differently. They actually disrupt the neurological integrity of the nodes and networks of the brain, both in the short term, but then certainly in the longer term, where you're then seeing subacute and more chronic effects on the autonomic system, heart rate, immune system, endocrine function, and these can be very debilitating in the long term.
So we were just showing a graphic on the screen about how the U.S. government uses these directed energy weapons to, push back drones, to push back, military forces. But we have seen this happening here based on the reporting that we've just.
Don't forget about civilians.
Been talking about. The concern is that this could be used in a backpack by, a Russian spy or someone who could walk.
Or, Russian spy, whatever.
Walk right up to something like the Executive Office building in Washington, D.C., or other government buildings and direct this energy towards people working in that building. You talked about scale. We worry about drones all the time because they're scalable. You can fly one into, a stadium. You can fly one over an event. It seems like this is similar in the sense that you could put it into a small backpack or other portable way of getting it somewhere and use it against someone. So how do we combat that as a government and make sure that people are being safe, especially here at home?
That's correct. Well, the scalability of these weapons is certainly one of the areas that have been progressed over the past 6 to 10 years. Now, at this point, they're not scalable to the point of being mounted on very small-scale drones. But to your point, they are backpack mountable, and they're certainly mountable in vehicles, vans, automobiles, which then makes them very viable for clandestine or even covert attacks in public, on the street, on the sidewalk, in domiciles. So the question then is, what do we do about it? Well, I mean, the first part is very important. We have to define that these things are real, the technology is there, it's not science fiction, it's not fictional fantasy ray gun stuff. The technology exists, and it exists at a point that can be weaponized, and is being weaponized by our peer competitors and adversaries, and now these are being used domestically, number one. Number two, we're developing mechanisms of detecting these at a distance, in architecture, and then personal detection systems as well. And then number three, we defend against those types of things in a number of ways, by blocking the actual signal in the wave, by producing types of garments that would deflect them if individuals are targetable, but also an early stage detection of the biological effects so that individuals can be treated early, promptly, and continuously as needed. Now, the next stage is a larger scale of defense, what we sometimes call left of bang. In other words, what could we do on a global scale to begin to guide, govern, control, and regulate these types of weapons? And there's been some progress being made on international signatory treaties, for example, the biological...
Man, shit, we ultimately just need the Lord. All this other shit he talking about, regulating, getting to get the global community together to ban these weapons, and oh, shut up, nigga. We need the Lord. There ain't no banning shit because the earth is given to the hands of the wicked. The wicked gonna be using these weapons on anybody and everybody, and they ain't gonna give a fuck. Shit, yeah, it's gonna be war on you people. Oh man, it's gonna be war on like no other against you, all you citizens of the world. Not just America, but all of the whole world. It's gonna be war against all you people. And they're gonna use weapons like this to make you niggas fall to your knees and submit. That's why, man, we need the Lord, man. Fuck that shit. Let me see if I can get something. Let me see. Y'all read this one. Because Esau and all these other heathen nations got all these different type of weapons. Energy weapons, lasers, all kind of shit. They'll fry your inside and all that crap, man. Like I'm saying, we need that protection. That's protection from Yahweh Shema Shah, Isaiah chapter 59. It was another one I'm thinking of. But this the only one I can... No, this the only one I can think of. But I know there's another scripture. I just can't think what was it. But anyway, I'll just read this one. Isaiah chapter 59 verse 19. So shall they fear the name of the Lord Yahweh from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the spirit of the Lord Yahweh shall lift up a standard against him. Yeah, we're gonna lift up a standard against these nations that have all these weapons and such, and they really gonna be coming against you Israelites with these damn weapons. Oh yeah, and they own people, but ultimately it's about you Israelites. But anyway, look at this next one.
The parents want to know, what did I find? And I said, oh, your daughter has parasites in her heart and in her brain. I actually had someone fly me to California in 2006 to treat their epileptic seizure daughter because she lived in a valley in California, and if she ever increased elevation by 1,000 feet, so she couldn't get on a plane, and she couldn't go to college, she couldn't leave the valley she lived in because if she changed elevation, she would have another seizure, like nonstop grand mal seizures. So they realized the pressure of going up in elevation increased the pressure in her brain, and she would have seizures. They flew me out to their home because she couldn't be brought to my clinic. So at the time in 2006, it was in Tennessee. I moved in 2009 to Texas and set up a practice here. So I fly out to California. While I'm evaluating this girl in their home, she was only like 8, 9, 10. The parents want to know, what did I find? And I said, oh, your daughter has parasites in her heart and in her brain. And they said, what kind of parasites? And I said, oh, this is actually a very small parasite called flukes. And these flukes are often fecal matter to orally transmitted. So she ate poop at some point. Now, just so y'all know, protozoa parasites, which you get from your tap water, you also get it from fecal oral route, and that's the second most common way Americans get it. So you're eating poop too if you have them. So the idea of eating poop is gross. Nobody thinks they're doing it, but it is a very common way in which we get parasites in America, is ingesting fecal matter. The parents look at me. The dad goes, I told you, honey, to the wife. And I was like, you told her what? You have got to get in here and tell Dr. Artis what our daughter was doing from the time she could walk until she was 3 years old. This is not a joke, Seth. They lived on property like you. They had acres. This little girl, from the time she could reach the door knob, she would wake up early in the morning, go open the back door, and walk out, even at 1.5 years to 2 years old, walk outside while the parents were sleeping, walk outside and go into their enclosed chicken coop. And they would very often, from the age of 1.5 to 3 years old, wake up, go to her room, she wouldn't be there, they'd run around the house, then go outside, and she'd be in the chicken coop, eating the chicken poop off the ground.
What the fuck is wrong with these people, bro? You can train your children not... What the fuck? I mean... Well, there be babies doing shit like that. They don't know no better, but... anyway.
It'd be all over her face every day. She'd go out there eating...
Every day she'd go eating bird shit.
The chicken poop. And now I'm seeing her, she's like 8, 9, and 10 years old, and she has all these parasites in her brain and heart.
Goodness gracious, what the fuck?
And yes, that's where she most likely got it. Anyway, we cleared up all of the parasites. Took 3 months. No more seizures. Could change elevations. Could travel. Could go to school. Go to college. All that stuff. Anyway, she couldn't travel. She was stuck in this little valley. You know, this is in America, in California. The parasites exist here. All of you are exposed to them. In fact, parasitologists, I quote, this is what they say: 90% of all humans on Earth have parasites in their body. I'm quoting them. 90% of all humans on Earth have parasites. 100% of pet owners have parasites in their body. Yet every medical doctor is told that.
Yeah, a lot of us got parasites, and why? Because of the food, the diet, the type of food we eat. I mean, the food contaminated, but also you got pork, shrimp, crab, lobster. You eating abominable foods. The foods that's not clean, but you want to think that, oh, I'm going to go pray on it and it's going to... No, it doesn't work out that way, nigga. That's full of shit. Damn. And then you see what happened to that girl. Well, she forgot to pray on her the chicken shit she ate. No. She ate some chicken shit, and you going to pray or not, you still going to get sick off this shit or get parasites. These people, especially our people, fucking sick in the head. They fucking retarded as hell. If the Lord said don't eat this shit, don't fucking eat it. Don't make no fucking excuses and doctrines about the Lord said it's good to eat it because you could pray on it. The Lord gave up our sin. He said, man, stop farting. You're down here farting. I can smell this shit. And plus it's hot in the house too, so that makes it even worse and I got to smell it. Man. But yeah, man, I don't know. I lost my train of thought, man. But damn. Everything's fucked up.
America and Canada.
A lot of you people that it explains why a lot of you people are fucked up in the head. You know, them damn parasites wiggling all in your brain and all kinds of shit. I don't mean anyway.
Parasites do not exist in America. I just got back from the UK and I did 6 presentations there for the Good Food Project's Health Convention. They asked me to do 6 presentations. I sat through a lot of the presentations of speakers from the UK. Almost every single one of them said, we don't have to worry about parasites here. Parasites do not exist in the UK. They're in other countries. I'm like, oh my God, they're telling the same lie here. And I got up Seth, when my last presentation, I said, look, I've listened enough for 6 days to presenters talking about parasites don't exist in the UK. Oh my God, that's the same thing they say in America. So I changed my entire presentation and pulled up on the screen, Seth, whole house. Dr. Omar Aman, I've known for a decade now, has only 1 second lab from the one in Scottsdale, Arizona, and it's in London. So I pulled up London's parasitetesting.co/UK. I pulled up their website and I showed everyone in the UK, these are the parasites you have. And I cannot believe I'm listening to all these natural health.
I'm pretty sure these niggas are eating pork and shrimp, crab, and lobster over there. Oh, man, anyway.
Speakers over here going, we don't have parasites in this country. You don't have to worry about those. Those are a third world. No.
All right. That's why we need the Lord, man, to get us out of here. I mean, I know we've been down that road eating things that has parasites and that parasites inside of us. And these devils, and another thing too, we can be like avoiding this shit to our best ability, but that's it. The best of our ability, we can't really avoid the shit because Esau will put stuff in the clean food. He'll put shit like this in the water. Hell, you got people getting fucked up by the water and vegetables. Yeah, there's a parasite that gives you diarrhea, explosive diarrhea. That's on the vegetables and fruit, and it might be inside of it too. Like salmonella, I don't know. Salmonella's a bacteria. I don't know what the hell. All I can tell you, well, you gotta get out of here, bro. Damn. And look, Esau, whatever. What is this shit? Talking about the med bed? Yeah, it's like, what is it like? What was that movie called with Matt Damon in it? Elysium, with them folk, the rich, wealthy. They go inside that machine and it heals them and all that other shit. I don't know. Let's go ahead and check it out. This video I'm talking about.
Zero with an X.
Zero loves making it easy.
Well, President Trump recently posted and then suddenly deleted a bizarre AI-generated video about something called med beds. Futuristic healing pods that supposedly regenerate the body and reverse disease. Now, the mainstream media immediately dismissed it as like conspiracy nonsense. That's just.
I mean, would it be considered? What is it? Hyperbolic chamber? I don't know.
Trump having fun. But the real question is, why would the president of the United States post something like that at all? Like, you don't just make that mistake. I don't accidentally post about med beds. And then suddenly it was deleted. Did someone tell him to take it down? Was it all intentional? Sort of programming, hinting of what's to come? For years, people have talked about the hidden regenerative technologies, devices that use frequency, light, magnetism, energy to help heal the body itself. In fact, I've interviewed individuals here on the show who've witnessed these med beds in action, people who've worked on the secret space program, who've seen these beds at different army installations, healing individuals, people that had cancer removed from their bodies. Now, while the sci-fi version of these med beds might not be sitting in every hospital today, there is real science around red light therapy, near infrared light, PEMF, mitochondria, stem cells, exosomes, inflammation, blood flow.
Stem cells, they involve grinded up dead fetuses, right? Human beings. You inject in their body or some shit. Anyway.
Even tissue repair. And our next guest says this is where the story gets interesting. Jonathan Otto runs Red Life, which is a company making red light therapy panels that bring some of these regenerative principles into the home. And I, by the way, I have one of these in my house. I use it almost daily. My wife does as well. And I can tell you personally, it's been a game changer for me. That is no lie. That is just what my experience is. So what is real? What is hype? What is being suppressed? And are we looking at the early stages of the med bed technology that people have been finally waiting for and entering our own homes? Jonathan Otto joins us now from Red Life. Great to see you again, Jonathan. Welcome back to the show.
It's a pleasure, Clayton. Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor.
My pleasure. I said, we had you on a number of months ago because Big Pharma is not happy with what you've been doing and what others in the red light therapy industry have been looking at right now, because the studies, the peer-reviewed studies, are really backing up everything that you've been talking about, and Big Pharma would love to sell you drugs.
I bet you soon them red lights, they gonna find out them bitches are doing something to your skin. And remember them thing they put on it, they have like a mask on, they put their mask on, they got the red. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. I believe that shit gonna do something to somebody. It's harmful to somebody's body.
So they're not happy. They're not happy with what you're doing, and they're really trying to suppress it. Are you surprised by that?
Oh, I wish I was. I really wish I was. But it's the world that we live in today. And look, power can corrupt people, and the Bible talks about the love of money being the root of all evil.
Huh? I think. Hold on. Let's start that over.
Power can corrupt people, and the Bible talks about the love of money being the root of
Okay, the love of money, yeah, be the root of all
evil. And when you put profit over people, and it is the root of all evil. And so people shouldn't be shocked. You're talking about well over $100 billion for the cancer niche as one silo. Then autoimmune is even greater, and you keep stacking those, and you're going into collectively trillions of dollars. And you have to just say, look, who stands to lose from people actually fixing a chronic condition that gets you off the big pharma merry-go-round?
I mean, the solution, the best way to say, what's the best solution for everybody's problems and to get healthy is, first thing, get rid of the source of it. And it's get rid of Edomites. So-called white people. The baby they suck at Jewish faggot fuckers. Get rid of them. Get rid of Edomites. Or put them in chains. Don't get rid of them, because they got to serve this ass whooping or that captivity just like the rest of these heathens. But really, just put all these heathens in captivity. Yeah, enslave all these heathens. Because that's the only way people can actually be healthy. Is get rid of, or not get rid of, but keep them in check. Keep them out of these fucking laboratories. Keep Esau and all these dumbass scientists, whatever, heathens, out of laboratories. Don't even allow them to read anymore. Shit. So they won't know. Yeah, they won't know anything. There'll just be a bunch of dumb niggas. The only thing they can be used to doing is building shit. But yeah, that's the only thing you could do to, for people to be healthy, is stop these devils, keep these devils out of these laboratories, and stop conjuring up fucking crazy ass shit that's gonna kill people and hurt people. And all they can think of is making money and shit. That's the only solution. And then you can eat right, and food, the earth will be a lot more healthier. You'll be healthier just like the earth will be more healthier.
There's a big loss there, and when cancer treatments are costing typically over $1 million, it's to insurance companies, and it really is some kind of money laundering system fundamentally. And then if you could solve that, then you've cut off the legs of big pharma. And there's
no, that ain't gonna hurt big pharma. You just, like I said, you got to start from the source. The main source is Esau, the nation of the Edomites. You got to get them out the picture. Get their asses out the picture.
It's interesting Bible verses as well, like Revelation 18:23.
Amalek, yeah.
That says, the light of the bridegroom and the candle shall no more at all shine at all in thee, for by thy sorceries, and the word is pharmakia.
Yeah, that's all they're doing, witchcraft.
Where they trade, so the word is pharmakia, by thy sorceries, by thy pharmakia were all the nations deceived, and thy tradesmen were the great men of the earth. The businessmen were the wealthy men of the earth. Bizarre verse, right? And by thy sorceries, thy pharmakia, the whole nations have been deceived. Very interesting.
So I guess I want to start with this President Trump tweet from a few months ago, because I found it fascinating. And I've talked to secret space program insiders who've witnessed these med beds in action, who've seen them, like literally at at Air Force bases in the United States, and have had witnessed healing happening. And not just one source, multiple sources have witnessed this. And then President Trump tweets about med beds, and then he deletes it. But there's been rumblings that, like, the biopharmaceutical complex is going to get pieces of this technology, or they have it, whether it's Honeywell or otherwise, and you're going to start to see more and more of, like, this med bed technology rolling out. Anyway, what did you make of President Trump's tweet about med beds, and what do you know about that? I'm just curious.
Yeah. So yes, he definitely did.
Well, meanwhile, Esau promoting med beds. I just thought of that. Well, the Lord gave me the thought to say this. Well, Esau has these med beds, and they really gonna be only exclusive for the wealthy, the elite. The Lord gonna lift up a standard. They're gonna have certain men have the powers to heal, just like in ancient times, well, especially when Yahweh Shai and his disciples were healing people, exorcising demons and such. It's gonna be happening again, but it's gonna be like worldwide. I don't know who it's gonna be, who gonna have these abilities to heal people, but they're gonna be healing people. Heck yeah.
Tweet on it and
heal them to see, to walk, to talk, to hear, from illnesses, heart disease, cancer. I don't know what else. Goddamn Crohn's disease. You don't have to fart a lot.
and it was an AI video, right? So that he's kind of, and it's saying that this is going to be made free to the public and things like that. And some could say, okay, it's trolling, right? And which I'm not going to say it's trolling, and I'm going to say that there's in the concept of and the study of, as you're witnessing, there is real things in this category. And the thing that we do know is that the technology goes back to the early 1900s, and the Nobel Prize was won by Niels Ryberg-Finsen in 1903 for light therapy reversing chronic autoimmune disease, in this case particularly lupus vulgaris. Okay, so we're talking about well over 120 years of documented research, so much so that a Nobel Prize is won for it. And then you look at that time, that's 1903. 1910 was the Flexner Report with Carnegie and Rockefeller, where they destroyed the naturopathic medical field. And
they want to put petrol into the shit and the medicines and such. Anyway.
And then push the petrochemical drug revolution. And all these other therapies then just kind of siloed out and then went underground in a way. But it's kept advancing.
And we've been using this shit for years, man. Years before Esau was in power. But then now this nigga's in power now. Hey, man. Let me get that scripture. Proverbs chapter 29, verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, people rejoice, but when the wicked bear food, the people mourn. And people mourning, they aching and paining. I mean, aching, and they in pain and shit. That's what happens when you got wicked rulers in the world.
And we have the data, and the reason why people need to then look at the fundamental things that are happening biologically, and then just look at this, right? So, and I'll reference really key data like the stem cell study done in 2022, a human pilot trial that showed when red light was put over the shins, they measured within hours the stem cell count going close to 3 times the amount of stem cells, like 278% specifically, increase in stem cell count. And stem cells will regenerate anything, right? So you basically...
Anyway, I ain't gonna play no more of this. If you want to watch the rest of it, they go to title, they go to channel. Let me get one more video from Redacted talking about the billionaire anti-aging controversy or conspiracy. Dying is only for us. But, yeah, dying is only for you heathens, but for you Israelites, immortality. Yeah, it's going to be coming soon.
Better sleep is simple. Just track your activity. Avoid blue light.
That's what Esau wants. He wants to be lived forever. Immortality. Shit, but he can't get it because he's a nigger.
Adequate exposure to natural light. Or maybe you just need a little...
Well, something big is happening right now, and we can all feel it, can't you? History has always been written by the survivors, but we are approaching a horizon right now where the survivors will be chosen by their net worth. You know, underground bunkers that they're building, and more. So for millennia, death has been like the ultimate equalizer. Emperors, peasants, conquerors, slaves, all eventually face the exact same fate, right? No amount of gold can actually buy an extra second on this earth when the clock has run out. Elites used to be buried, though, hilariously, with their gold trinkets all wrapped around them in order to try to take this wealth to the afterworld. But guess what? That didn't work. Well, we don't think it worked anyway. We don't actually have the proof of it.
Because gold and silver, copper, they have, I don't know what else of the metal, but they have like healing properties.
But it seems like it's not, since all the gold is still left over next to their corpse. But anyway, but behind closed doors, the very same elite...
It might not give you immortality. Well, it doesn't give you immortality. Only the Lord does that. But it can give you healing properties. But the Lord does that too.
Just now in 2026 and 2027 are trying to change all of that. And the certainty that we know about death, particularly that system, is being systematically dismantled. So right now a quiet war is being waged. It's not a war for land, oil, or data. It's a war against time itself. A small circle of ultra-wealthy individuals has quietly poured billions of dollars.
There's a war against time. There's also a war against Yahweh by Shemal Shah, because they are the ones that control time ultimately.
Dollars into a highly secretive biotechnology project consortium. And their stated goal is to solve aging as if it's just like a software bug, to basically engineer immortality. But here's the truth that they won't tell you in their press releases. This medicine is not being built for the benefit of humanity at all. That's, of course, why they want massive global depopulation. We've heard that directly from those people like Klaus Schwab and others at the World Economic Forum. So they don't want us around. So this infrastructure that they're building, required to reprogram the human biology at a cellular level, is astronomically expensive, it's highly restricted, and it's fundamentally unscalable for 8 billion people. The resources are finite. The intent is exclusive. So we're not witnessing the dawn of a disease-free world for everyone, like a Star Trek Next Generation future. We are witnessing the curation of a genetic superclass, if you will, a permanent biological aristocracy that will outlive the civilizations that built their wealth to begin with. on their backs. In the absolute forefront of this quiet revolution is a man who, of course, built his empire on efficiency, logistics, and total market domination, and that's Jeff Bezos. Take a look at this. This is, just watch this clip here of Jeff Bezos.
There is only one thing money can't buy: time. For a man at the pinnacle of wealth and power, this single truth is a problem he feels in his bones with every passing second. He is the founder of Amazon, the driving force behind Blue Origin, which is paving the way for space travel. The owner of the Washington Post, one of the world's largest media organizations, is the architect of a $1 trillion e-commerce empire. His fortune dwarfs the annual budgets of small countries. We cannot even imagine the things he possesses. But neither the top spot on Forbes' list of the richest people, nor the strict diets he has undertaken to preserve his body as he approaches 60 could save him from his quietest but most ruthless rival: old age. This is where the talk began.
No, the number one, what the fuck is this? The number one rival of these Edomites is Yahweh Shema Shah. That's it. Old age, Yahweh Shema Shah controls these devils. What the hell is going on? What happened to my damn hell, I eliminated my taskbar. That's what happened. Son of a bitch. Oh well.
In 2021, it was reported that Bezos and another powerful billionaire, Yuri Milner, had made an extraordinary investment in Altos Labs, an invisible company together the brightest and most sought-after minds in the scientific world. A full $3 billion. This is an unprecedented fund for a scientific venture. The media promptly announced the news with headlines like, "Bezos invests in immortality." The digital age's super rich were chasing eternal life. But the real story was hidden in the shadow of those flashy accusations in the headlines.
They were trying to do that shit during the Egyptian times and the Roman times. Well, actually, the Egyptian times. I don't know about the Roman times that they try to. Nah, these African booty scratchers trying to do all that shit, thinking they can live forever.
Because the names behind this extraordinary fund, Bezos and Milner, were nowhere to be found in the company's official press release or on its website. Why? Why did...
It's like these niggas want that blessing, bro. They want to try to get their own blessing by trying to make a pseudo artificial immortality, a way of immortality. No, bro, you can't be like that. That's only for Jacob, nigga.
These powerful figures, who had quietly put billions of dollars on the table, insist on remaining in the shadows of this project.
Great question. So Altos Labs seemingly materialized out of thin air in late 2021. It didn't debut like a typical Silicon Valley startup or like a big SpaceX IPO. It emerged as a fully formed behemoth backed by an unprecedented $3 billion in immediate funding. So the scientific roster read like a roll call for a Nobel Prize committee. Many of these names on this list are making more than $1 million a year in salary. These scientists were then lured away from top global universities with a simple promise. You get total academic freedom, unconstrained multi-million-dollar grants, and zero immediate pressure to commercialize a product. Sounds like something out of a James Bond film. Like, come move to this island, and you can do whatever you want. Dr. Evil. So Altos Labs is not trying to cure a specific disease like cancer or Alzheimer's. Its sole intention is to achieve immortality exclusively for those who have the power and influence to launch it. But as previously mentioned, if you look at the official registry, corporate filings, executive boards of Altos Labs, you will find something very unusual. You won't find the name Jeff Bezos anywhere.
I'm going to stop right there. If you want to watch the rest of Be My Guest, they go to title, they go to channel. How much time I got? Okay, 48 minutes. Yeah, these niggas are... all this shit, yeah, the immortality, these med beds, anti-aging, whatever. They can try their hardest, but damn, I mean, all they have to do is eat good. Well, I guess they tried their best doing that, and hogging all the real food from the peasants. Heck yeah. And see, they eating all the best shit, but anyway, they want to control your food and make you eat shit and bugs and such. Anyway, but the Lord getting at these niggas. I don't know what else to tell you, man. All I can tell you, I can't wait for this shit to come to a fucking end, bruh. And watch these damn devils goddamn suffer through all the shit they put us through. Fuck these niggas. Let me read this one. Psalm chapter 2, verse 1. Why do the heathen rage and imagine a vain thing? I read this before, but read it again, because this is so vain. It's so vain and harebrained that these devils think they can daggone reach the immortality and get that ultimate blessing that Jacob gonna receive. No, they ain't gonna get that shit. Let me get a scripture that speaks about Jacob getting that blessing. But it's only starting off with the elect of Israel, though. 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse... I'll read 52. In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, and this is about the beginning of the salvation of Israel when they get beamed up in the chariots. Hold on, let me zoom in a little bit. Matter of fact, I'm going to start at 59, because it's best to start at 59. And as we have borne the image of the earthly, we shall also bear the image of the heavenly. Now, this I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of God Yahweh, neither do of corruptive inherent in corruption. Behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, pretty much not die, but we shall all be changed. In a moment, in a twinkling of an eye, just like that. At the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised, and incorruptible, and shall be changed. For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality. So when this corruptible shall have put on incorruption, and this mortal shall put on immortality. So you see what I'm trying to say. We're going to get rid of the old and bring in the new. The Lord's going to get rid of these old, decrepit, fleshly bodies that get sick and feel pain and all that shit and age. And the Lord going to change his people, the elect of his people, into new people, new bodies be heavenly bodies we don't have to worry about. I have a hard time stuttering sometimes, getting nervous sometimes. It ain't going to be none of that. No, none of that shit. Ain't going to be none of that. Some brothers and sisters got speech impediment, or our brains don't work fast enough. We're getting old, or either whatever, man. We got bad hearts. We got all kind of fucked up things, man. We cripple. Some of us can't get quadriplegics. The Lord gonna replace all that old shit with something new, spiritual, godlike bodies. Yeah, everything gonna be godlike, from the molecular structure of the cells and the this and the that and the well, we're gonna be super. Fuck, I don't even want to say human. We're gonna be supernatural. Yeah, cause all that human shit gonna be a thing of a past for us. We gonna look like we men and look like humans, but we way beyond humans. We're gods. So when this corruptible shall put on incorruption, and this mortal shall put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory. So we beat death at that time. I don't know about me, but I hope and pray I do. Especially when the hour of temptation comes around and, ow, my ankle, shit. I don't know what the hell happened there. Damn. Whew. I didn't even do anything. That shit just popped out of nowhere. O death, where is thy sting? O grave, where is thy victory? Yeah. So the elect going to defeat death, and the Lord's going to have his people be in a status of being gods, many gods. Yeah. Meanwhile, Esau and these other heathens, shit, they still gonna be little mortal human beings. Yeah. Oh, let me see if I get something else. Is this it? I'm trying to think. What was it? Was it Isaiah chapter 31 verse start with 2. Yet he also is wise and will bring evil, and will not call back his word, but will arise against the the house of the evildoers, and against the help of them that work iniquity. Where am I? Okay, this I think this is where I want to read. Now the Egyptians are men and not gods, and they never will be. And they talking about these modern day Egyptians. The modern day Egyptians, these Edomites. Yeah, they are just only men, but they're not gods. They want to be. They're horses of flesh and not a spirit. Yeah, they're what you call them, tanks and shit. Are they weapons of warfare? They're not living creatures. They just things that run off of diesel or some kind of fuel. Anyway, when the Lord Yahweh stretch out his hand, both he that helpeth. Oh yeah, I don't have to stop reading. I can stop that. I just want to read this part because this way it came across my mind. Now the Egyptians are men and not God. Yep, that's it. Well, anyway, these niggas trying to kill us, and just living here in this environment is deadly. So that's why we praying like heaven and Lord get us out of here, man. No flesh should be saved, you know. Nigga got these energy weapons. You ready to use it on people, especially you Israelites. When the hell a lot of you Israelites got daggone parasites in your brain, and Esau, he don't mind taking care of that with some daggone energy weapons, boil them parasites in your brain. I don't know what else to tell you, man. I'm just making up shit now. But anyway, man, seek the Lord by seeking his prophets and take heed what say, and try to build a spiritual mental relationship with Yahweh Shema Shah by praying Yahweh Shema Shah, praising Yahweh Shema Shah, worshiping Yahweh Shema Shah, fearing Yahweh Shema Shah, and repenting to Yahweh Shema Shah. To all the men out there pushing this truth and nothing but the truth in the name, spirit, and the power of Yahweh Shema Shah, keep on preaching, keep on teaching, keep your faith and your trust strong in Yahweh Shema Shah. Stay humble, and for you few sisters out there taking heed, keep your faith and trust strong in Yahweh Shema Shah. Stay humble, stay in order with your man. If you ain't got no man, stay in order, Yahweh Shema Shah. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, and all praises to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah. Shalom.